Hi there. Here we have my US model of 1917 rifle, calibered in 30-06, and this particular one is made by Edison. You know, these grand old rifles are fantastic. They're really accurate and great to shoot, and almost 100 years old. What I'm going to show you to do today is how to replace the ejector. The ejector on this rifle broke a while back, or the spring on the ejector broke, and I made a little bit of a fix which I will show you. It was a temporary fix, although actually it works fine, and I'm going to replace it with an ejector that isn't broken. You can see on this ejector here, it's got a thin spring, and that's the spring that broke. So what we're going to do is we're going to remove the bolt stop assembly and fit the new ejector. So first thing we need to do is just take out the bolt. So we just pull open the bolt stop, slide out the bolt from the back, put that on a bit of cloth. Now what we're going to need to do this is we're going to need a good quality screwdriver and a pair of long nose pliers, and of course a replacement ejector and spring. If you look into the action, you can see the bolt stop, and just in front of that we have the extractor, which is spring loaded. Hopefully you can see that, and that's what we're going to replace. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is remove the whole bolt stop assembly, which comprises of the spring, the bolt stop spring here. It's got the ejector which pokes into the action, and we've got the pivot screw on top. So first thing we do is to take out the pivot screw. So if we unscrew that, always important to use a good quality screwdriver. Right, now as you get to that point, it won't screw out anymore, just keeps going round. So it's actually unscrewed from the thread, but we need to pull it out. I'm going to use a pair of long nose pliers, but I'm not going to grab the head of the bolt, because the last thing I want to do on this lovely old rifle is knacker up the head. So I'm going to grab the shaft, press in on the spring, and it should just lift out. Okay, now to remove this assembly, we just lift it off, and there it is, complete. Now, as I said, I've done a little fix on this, and I've put a spring. You can see there's a little spring in there. Now to take this apart, just push on that, whoops, there goes the spring, and take off the bolt stop spring, and here we have the ejector and the stop assembly, and that just lifts out the back. Now if I just pick the spring up off the floor, and I will show you how I did the fix. Okay, so this is the ejector, and there should be a spring on there like this new one I've got here to put in, so you can see the difference. So because this broke off, what I did is I made myself a little spring. It's some spring wire I got. It's actually started life as a spring in the back of a torch, you know, where it presses on the battery, and I rewound it. So what I did is I got the broken ejector, put it into place. I placed the spring, whoops, on top. See if I can get this right. And then the bolt stop spring I just placed on top of that. There we go. And when that's all together, that spring just provided enough spring to work the ejector. Okay, so, but now I've got a new one we'll take this apart, take out our spring and the broken ejector. Now here we have the new one with the spring still intact, so we will put that in with the spring up. Then we have to replace our bolt stop spring, and there we have it assembled. Now to put this back, it's easy enough. Place the ejector in the slot on the action, line the spring up with the grooves here. That will actually turn and come out easy enough. So when we assemble it, we need to make sure that the slot is running correctly. So put the spring in. Now to get the pivot screw back in, we just press that in with our thumb so the hole lines up, and just push that down. Now get the screwdriver in place, press that again, just a little push and a screw. There we go. And it's as easy as that. Finger in there, you can feel that's working. There we go.